Hello everybody and welcome back to your IBS Answer Portal. This is your continuing series of video T103, which has 4 parts. This is part 1 and we're addressing FODMAPs. I've gotten repeated questions. That's so confusing. What are FODMAPs? Why do I hear it so much? High FODMAPs are complex sugars. That word FODMAP is an acronym for fermentable oliggo, monosaccharide, disaccharide, and polyols. These are complex sugars in many foods. If somebody has irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, or ulcerative colitis, as I've explained to you in the past, it's a functional disorder, meaning your intestine, your small intestine, is not functioning normally. And the basic reason for that is your small intestine sustained damage or an insult to your brush border. That is the lining of your small intestine that has glandular cells dispersed throughout the lining of your small intestine. These particular cells that are glands produce numerous products such as mucus by the goblet cells, and you need that. You need mucus to lubricate your gut, to make the food slide through your intestine. It also protects your body. It's a barrier against bad bacteria and other pathogens from getting into the rest of your body. It also has other cells that make enzymes that break down those complex sugars that are in FODMAPs. I discussed it with you and you know it. There are numerous other enzymes that medicine has always ignored, even getting down to, you won't believe this, IAP, which stands for intestinal alkaline phosphatase. That is very complicated, and I'm not going to get into it now, but just know you need that enzyme to protect your intestines from getting damaged by bacteria. Intestinal alkaline phosphatase, made in a certain area of your small intestine, helps prevent the bacteria from sticking to the sides of your intestine, damaging it and killing your brush border. It is produced in other areas of the body. This is beyond the scope of my IBS Answer Portal because it gets very complicated into medical science. But just know, your brush border could be damaged. That could be producing or not producing enough of intestinal alkaline phosphatase, or IAP. So what are FODMAPs? FODMAPs, high ones, are considered high because they have many complex sugars. Take watermelon. It has a lot of sugar in it, but it's the types of sugar. A lot of fruits have multiple different sugars. Fructans, fructose, glucose, sucrose. There are numerous ones. These are large sugar molecules. The worst ones are avocado, onions, peaches, garlic, cherries. As I said, watermelon. There are many others. One of the biggies is beans, and you know about beans. What did people always say? Oh, the more you eat, the more you toot. Get the message? Yeah, those are complex FODMAPs in those beans, and they produce gas when they're metabolized. If your intestine is compromised, you cannot break down those sugars because you're not producing those enzymes to break down those sugars. You end up with that food fermenting in your small intestine, which produces gas, bloating, cramping, eventual loose stools, or diarrhea. That is why you have gas. When the food leaves your stomach, gets into your small intestine, normally your body's dumping those enzymes, breaking down the sugars before they get to ferment. If those enzymes aren't there, your food is fermenting. And what's causing the fermentation? Most of you do know. If you drink beer, understand how beer is brewed, or if you bake cakes, pastries, bread rises because the yeast produces gas as it eats up and gobbles the sugar that you add to the batter, and it produces that gas. Well, if you don't have the enzymes to break down those sugars, you're producing the gas. You're creating your own little brewery in your small intestine. Now you understand why you have IBS. Question you're going to ask is, well, why can't I eat it when other people can? It's because you sustained the damage to your small intestine. A majority of the population, yes, has a normal functioning small intestine. They can handle the FODMAPs. They can eat them. Part of my treatment protocol, which we're going to go into, is you're going to suspend. I'm not saying terminate. Suspend eating those FODMAP foods, the high FODMAP foods. Give your body a chance to repair and heal. Hopefully, as a period of time goes on, you're going to be able to function again and maybe rebuild your brush border and start producing those cells that are glandular cells that produce those enzymes. But I need you to be high FODMAP free for 6 weeks, along with treatment protocol, which I'm going to teach you how to ingest, take certain enzyme replacement therapies that will provide those enzymes to prevent any more future damage to your small intestine. You do what I tell you, you're going to be like me. Eat what I want, feel great, no more pain, suffering, numerous bathroom trips. I'm not going to tell you all that you know already, but it can be done. Your doctor doesn't have the time to tell you. Your doctor won't get paid for what I'm telling you. And that is the problem in medicine today. So follow it. Now you know what a FODMAP is. And danger, stay away from high FODMAPs. That's a temporary thing until you get on the road to recovery. So again, it has to do with your immune system. Why you were lucky to have an overactive immune system that facilitated damage to your small intestine. Later on, we'll talk about that, but let's stick with this. That is the most important thing. The next one we're going to go into will be a surprise for you, but the title is going to be Part 2, One Size Does Not Fit All, and Why. You want to know about it? Stay tuned for T103 Part 2.